So I'm going to keep everything simple here and go with the limit grids because we can pack high-res orders into a buy limit. So this is pure Martingale. I guess this is what you call it, right? I think the key here is to take a demo and put $200 in it. So for the newbies, if you can handle risking $200, I'll show you how it works with $200. You put $200 in a demo, you figure out which scripts you're supposed to be running for the volatility, and boom, you're done. Now, that's going to be a bummer for your ego because you're going to think, oh, I just put a bunch of orders in there like a fucking loghead. How can it possibly work? But of course it works, right? Why does it work? Because you need to buy low and sell high, but it's how much you buy low and how much you sell high. It's a matter of like an ant. The old joke, you know, you don't want to use a elephant gun on an ant or something, or use a, you know, elephant gun to kill your ants. Because you go to kill dinner, there's nothing left, right? It's just skeleton. So we take this concept to the mark, to this placing orders. We have to be very diversified. We don't buy the same price on a micro lot because you're destroying the resolution. So if I fix the scale here at, I think this is 1 pip. If I could prove it, I'll just put one right here. I'll show you just how the high res this can load an order of the same amount. I'm going to risk 20 pips to make 10 pips. And I'm going to put in it like, see, it's dropping. Right now we're looking at a half a pip. This is the max stretch out, right? Half a pip right there between these is a half a pip. Now I've duplicated these, but if they decay at different times, it's not so bad. The idea is to go in between those orders. You drop in between it, there is no in between. So it's gonna, that's a 1/10 of a pip you're looking at there. You would just say, I'm buy more here. And the time decay is different, so I don't consider that to be duplication. Now, as you come out to here, it's going to look like insanity. It's a 10 pip grid. You're looking to buy packs that are so dense you can't see them under normal conditions unless you do this. See, there's a giant iceberg down there tonight. 8 hours. Everything's set to 8 hours in these just because you don't want to babysit. Now I want to buy it. I stop, right? It's going up, right? They've trapped these guys a little bit, right? Not totally going up. But let's just nibble on it, right? You don't have to eat the whole cookie, man. You don't have to go to a restaurant. See, it's not normal life. If you go to a restaurant and you buy an entree for $40, you're going to eat it, right? Unless you're throwing up. Well, what's going to stop you? Why did you buy it? Why'd you drop $40 on some fucking ridiculously small size thing you could have made at home and gotten laid in front of your campfire, right? Why are these people taking chicks to restaurants in the first place? Man, just rent a room in a hotel, make the shit while she's watching TV, whatever she needs to do, and then you come in, bingo, bango. She's prepped, right? She's like, got the script written. I know it makes the date boring when you can whip out a script. It's so funny how you manipulate somebody, right? So people don't want to be accused of manipulation, so manipulation is a dirty word in trading. But if you manipulate your orders into the price action to come, so this guy, Dave Gibson, he's talking about it's what hasn't happened yet, which is the most important thing. Not what has happened. We all know what happened. And all the, like, it's just, if you've ever traded, all you have to do is look at this wick here and go, why didn't I buy that wick? Why didn't I knew this law existed. Like, what's the most simple thing you can think of on the planet right here? If I was to show somebody that literally never traded before, that hadn't been brainwashed by a 20 EMA that supposedly Barclays Bank uses, are you serious? So we're buying here. Why are we buying here? Small ATRs, I can run the scalp script, right? Here's buy stops, the scalp. Okay, that's it, right? Now, I might have just put in 48K, I don't know. Right? It hits that thing, you go up 5 pips, you're out. Bye-bye. Take your $100 and go. You build the account, right? Or you're going to be some big monster fucking position on supposed Gartley and ride that bitch out with a wide stop and risk $1,000 to make $3,000. I'm not saying you can't do that trade. But if you own 5 cars, why are you smashing 3 of them just because you have 2 extra cars left over? It's retarded. It means you have no respect for your money, no respect for your cars, right? If you can't manage $100, you can't manage $1 million. So yeah, I'll prove it with a $100 demo, right? Same thing. Like if I put up a $100 demo, would you believe me? Take a $200 demo and I could turn it into $1,000 in a month. Okay, that's my challenge. Because guess what? It's almost like real money. Because guess what? That's not a lot of money. There's no fear. My point is, get rid of the fear. Don't think that you're going to be really good at flying a fucking plane in simulation by a Learjet and not fucking die. Okay? Who the fuck? I'm saying, I'm not talking. This is just good old common sense approach to, like, if you don't know anything about razor blades, you might want to get a little, you know, hey, let's see how sharp they are. Test drive it on a piece of wood, not your finger, right? That's what the demo's for. But then people, oh, you did all that good trading on a demo. Oh, let's see. So I've seen you play scales. Can you do it on stage without crapping your pants? Oh, gee, I don't know. Oof. Well, of course, it's going to be a different performance, right? But how much money did you take on stage? Why are people just taking a $100 account and they'll drop $4,000 on some fucking brainwashed approach to, like, this is how you pick up a girl. See, what you do is get some good outfits. Make sure your socks, make sure everything's matchy-matchy. You're almost gay. Okay? Then go to a nice place, nice neighborhood. You're looking for a certain age. Kind of give a little Facebook. Really? No. The chick you're going to marry is not going to be planned out like that. She's going to be some fucking bitch you picked up on the highway because her car broke down. Oh, the guy's crazy. Got married 20 years ago. Right? So this Dave Gibson, what he's talking about is, you know, life is there, right? Your life's there. And we've seen these patterns over and fucking over again. Who is not buying support and selling resistance? It's how much you doing in that trade. Are you in 150 grand or are you in 5 grand? It's a completely different mindset. Sure, you can put on a 10K, dude, and make $50 a day. No fucking brainer. There should be a... If you look at this as an aerial view, I look at this aerial view of a train yard, and this is the football game, say, right? 10-yard lines, right? They got the ball, they take it to the wick, they take it back to the, right? They lose ground, right? Back to first down. Aerial view. I guess they're coming to the southern end of the fucking, it's a bridge game, right? The southern end of the field. You're looking aerial view of a football game right now. And all these limit orders are the hurdles, right? They are there's going to be pressure at the outskirts of town. It doesn't matter. I know people think that for some reason there's stochastics responding to this out-of-bounds good rate area. No. It's simply an auction theory. It's out of bounds. It's up in the void, right? It's the void. What's the most important thing? The void. The current void, the ATR void here was an obvious doji, pull the trigger, mechanical 5-pip stop to make 3-pip winner. You made that money. You can just see. Do you have to back test that? If you do, you just can't watch. You can't trade for pips. You're trading for I don't even know what. If you're not aware of ATR, I'm not talking. This guy's like, oh, you just talk about tops become what? This is a double bottom, dude, in time on the 15-minute. But it doesn't mean that you could have traded that with a tight stop and survived that fucking wick. Even though we all know in the end it was a fucking double bottom. Yeah, double bottom. Guess what? Washout. But guess what? It's as if it never happened. It retested the top. That was somebody's target. You know, somebody had that one little ticket in there for that one little. But since there's so much money going through these markets, isn't there like an incremental exits? You really go. The idea that you're going to trade one ticket is like the idea you're going to go to a bathroom, right? Public restroom. There's just one fucking toilet. You're like, wow, man, not even a sink. Yeah, I know you got to flush and put your hand in the sink. It's like really very tree huggish, right? We don't even, the plumber, I mean, really? I mean, think of the carbon footprint of the fucking welding of the pipes to put in an extra sink. Who's going to recover from that, right? So, yeah, bring the laser welder out, please. You know, we don't want to make a cloud getting this thing online. But yeah, you know, come on. Let's see your trading videos, man. I love these guys. Just the completely inept criticisms, but I could do it. What would it prove, right? I'm still the same asshole. He's still the same scaredy cat. I'm just trying to make it the Fight Club, man. You know? Hey, first rule of Fight Club's fight. So you're fighting with the market, or you're fighting with yourself, or you're fighting with the fact I'm saying outrageous shit and you don't like it. And it's like, well, that's just too easy. It couldn't be that. If it's that easy, everybody do it, and it starts to fuck with people's heads. But hey, you know what? Eventually, everybody goes through that process of saying, you know what? Maybe I'm misreading that. Maybe the market's doing something I don't. It's okay not to know what the market's doing. It's just going up and down. We know this happens. It's the rate it does it, and how long do your exposure last? So you could go to sleep knowing that, yeah, 12 hours from now, if I'm not here because I'm out managing the rest of my life, like really want to slave to the market, people say, financial freedom, I do whatever I want. Dude, if you're scalping, you're sitting there for 3 hours and just nailing it, and then you're done. Or you swing trading it, yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm in 150K, let it go. I'm in 1K, let it go. But it's living with uncertainty. So the way to layer that up is to get a $50 account, get a $100 account, and make a competition between your both accounts. What's the better trades, the swing trades or the trend trades or the market trades? It shouldn't be very complicated to look at any chart and say, once we're below 10 pips, I have a trade plan for that. Once we're below 8 pips, 9 pips, 10 pips, this is where it becomes complicated, because in reality, you need a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You need like 20 orders to go long, 20 orders to go short. Maybe they are markets, maybe they are stops, maybe they are limits. Maybe your limits get in only 13 pips deep, Fibonacci pullbacks. And that's how you live your life, But what I'm doing is insane, right? I could place like so many orders, and I can't get out of some of them. If they're all micro lots and the broker's slow, I can't get out. I could be up 60 grand and I can't get out, and I'll be down 20 grand. By the time those last tickets, I can see the market ripping back. Okay, it just spiked up. It didn't hit all my targets. That's why the finesse is to have a flow, your own market flow of, I'm taking off 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pips. The first ticket's big, it progressively gets smaller, and you're playing it like a fucking violin. You strum the market. You just come in, you look at it, you assess it. I can make a few pips here. If I can, I'll just put plunge orders in like Martingale. What is so wrong with that? I think people feel like you're trapping deer instead of shooting it with a rifle and getting all like sniper about it. But dude, if it was legal to trap deer with bear traps, would people do it? Some people wouldn't, because they feel bad. They're like, I'm going to take advantage of other traders and put my orders in. That's what I thought. I mean, I was like, I'm a nice guy, right? I'm a nice person. Well, who else would divulge the inner workings of work? So I'm saying we all have a personality, and if you can say, hey, no, I'm a guy that would just buy without any confirmation. So write a script, run a trade plan that can include that amount of high risk, and it's built around uncertainty. And that's actually what most people's weakness is your strength, because you're trading backwards to that style. So I can see everybody's trend trade. I can see when the trend traders are like, yeah, that's fucking, yeah. I can see I didn't have the patience to ride the fucking trend. But I'm not stupid. I'm not dumb enough to realize I'm not a trend. I'm smart enough to realize I'm not a trend trader. But can't I just trade 5 pip swings? Noise? Oh, you can't trade noise. Well, granted, the closer you get to the spread, the worse it is. But if you can get a trade plan that makes 5, 8, 12, or Fibonacci, right? 55 pips on the whole scale up, right? 144. We get to 144. Now you're on Gans 9, right? You're square 9. So it's all sitting there, right? The clue is that how many times can you get to the thing to press the buttons? The more aggressive your tickets. So somebody Skyped me and said, oh, I just get killed on this. Yeah. When people try to sell into these monster moves, they've got to space out everything accordingly to that expansion, the latest ATR, the latest shockwave to come in, right? It's like a compressor. If you do instant compression on playback, look ahead, right? You have a compressor audio coming in, and you can look ahead. You can adapt the envelope of attack and release of that compressor so it's transparently compressed. But in the real world, you've got data coming in, and you've got a fucking DBX or whatever you have. Right? It's got a slew rate. It's got its own fucking way. It's set. You can't go to 0. You can't go to. If you go to 1, you'll even hear these things click. Right? The internal's trying to keep up with it. You're trying to push it. You're saying, well, just fucking, attack right there. Keep a constant ride like a really smooth, smooth out moving average. But here it's raw data, and we have the chance to. So I'm going to buy a little bit of the euro here, buy it back. So I don't know where I'm at here in this chart, but see this, I know I want to get out here on something. The previous floor on the 15-minute, it's in an uptrend. So I just taunted that guy today because I knew he would say that. If you look at the timestamp, at this point right here, I said, you're buying the, he's like, are you kidding? What, are you being silly? No, I'm not. I'm serious. Like, isn't this the ultimate scalp area right here? Just buy, right? It's a buy. The sell is kind of like a little overbaked maybe. And from a stop entry standpoint, you could have just put a goober stop in here. With a 12, you could have run a 20 pip stop there. You could have all stops. You could literally have pure stops here, or it's taking it off the table as it comes down. But why would you waste time whipping out Fibonacci tools when you should really just be placing orders at just non-duplicative prices? So you can get a 10K in a 1 pip range, right? You can get 10K in a 1 pip range. That's your depth of order is available to you. I'm sorry, no, sorry. If I could do a 1/10 of a pip, but I can't. I can only do 1 pip here. But inside here, I could put a 10K layered up in a 10 pip box. But you could actually just repeat this ticket here. I'm buying a 10K, right? Does this not make sense? You're buying new lows at 10Ks. This is not too difficult, right? Can you get filled though? So I'm going to go, I'll show you tonight's trade plan on the euro dollar. Let's go to the 1 hour chart, right? So at climax, it's pulling back. We sold into this, we're up 10 pips, right? Just imagine that, because that's where we are. We did that trade. We're up 170 bucks, right? Now we're going to buy the pullback because it's going to bounce back. We start coming in here 10 pips deep, and I'm just going to lay these 8 hours worse than break even. I'll make 10 pips, risking 20, and I could just keep stacking these up so dense that by the time we get back to this wick breakout point, which is right at the 10-yard line, I will make money just on that bounce alone because it's such a fat order there. Such a compression of tickets at that one level. And that's what I'm counting on, is this crush down. I'm putting a cloud of orders out in front of the market, right? Maybe Martingale had maybe he had a big pillow he fucked his wife on. He goes, you know what? I think I got it. She's banging his wife, and he says, wait a second, honey, last time we did this, I broke your hip, but I got an idea. What we're going to do is we're going to stack up a bunch of pillows like your fucking 10Ks, and when I pummel you, because we just got back from eating a great dinner that I guess that's high-end restaurants, a small meal so you don't throw up when you're banging, right? You don't want to, it's like, wait a minute, let me digest first. So, but this big cushion of orders we placed here, I could go to sleep just like with a cozy feeling of Martingale in my, I would take dreams of Martingale on a horse, like a white knight coming in and just dumping pips in my drawer at the end of the rainbow where the leprechaun sits. But yeah, certainly you got to be there to pull the trigger, and you got to be up for outlandish shit. And look at this run. Look at this burst of euphoria on this currency pair. Now it's kind of easy, right? We'll buy the pullback. It'll be like a little bit up, a little bit down. We put the sell limits above here like a goober fuck. We put them up here. You can just put orders. So you just put orders up there like that and just see what happens, right? Now, I'm not suggesting this for the $100 account. But this account, I could get back to 50 grand if I wanted to. And the funny thing is like, who's doing this on a demo, right? Who's wasting time? But I'm trading. Why wouldn't I just come over here and go, this isn't the best trade in the world, right? Probably buy this. Look at this pound. Look at the ATRs on this. You can trade very wide on this thing. We could buy all the way here tonight. These are killer. I would just blindly throw, if I have better than break evens, I just throw them in like this. Why is this not acceptable? I still don't get. I think that, I swear to God, I think it's like, well, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be mean and make money from stupidity. Like, I made money doing dumb shit. Yeah, he opened a meth lab. Look, he's killing it. Well, that's too easy. If it's easy, everybody. Well, okay, it's illegal. You got me there. But here's a fucking, who's not buying this pullback of the British pound? Who cares if you're right? Risk 30 to make 15. Start at the bottom, work your way up. So go for the most outlandish wick. Maybe these last 12 hours are all week long. Like I could confidently place orders like here all week long. Right? And just get really aggressive. Put them and buy new lows. Why would it matter? For God's sakes, can somebody tell me right now that this doesn't work? I'm buying every 10 pips to Memphis. You seriously think we're going to go down there in 8 hours? What are the odds of that? Can anybody do statistics? Anybody have any statistics calculators? Dude, I can take this count to 30 grand in the next half hour if I wanted to. It's obvious, right? Because it's harder when you're orchestrating 3 currency pairs, but I have the magical script somebody sent me that, oh, look at this thing. They're killing it. This thing's going to the moon, right? Ruh-roh. So this is the moment of truth for the Dow. This is the daily. We're up in the nosebleeds, so this is going to be interesting. I could keep churning up a little bit, but man, I tell you, I don't know if I'd be buying like this. This is a buy signal, actually, right here. This is your painful drift up into history, right? You could go up another 300 pips against you. Are you willing to make money from being wrong? Would you put a buy stop? Would you put a hedge on the Dow 30? The question is, are you missing a hell of a sell here? Or are you willing to accept not knowing and getting chopped up because the ATR is coming closer and closer to the spread? The more the noise level comes up, the worse the trade is. Look at this wick on the 4 hour, for God's sakes. What the fuck, right? That's the Dow Jones, and that's a heartbreaker because I think we all know, if we've seen the markets, if anything we know is that this is a good place to get in, right? But if you watch that happen, you would pull your order. If you've never seen a market move that fast and that furious, you would pull your order. Look at this one down here. Buying all new lows here? Holy fuck, you cleaned up. You engulf that, you engulf right to here, you keep going back and forth, up and down, but now the volatility, you're buying new lows. Now and here's was your entry today. 4 hour. Everything below that wick. And definitely here for certain, right? Like, for most certaintists, the most high, look at this wick. So these wicks are key. You would have got filled in this order. And these things you need to have you got to save up for these orders, right? Maybe you put a 10 pack in right there. And you're out of the trade. Your exit door has already been sealed in stone. It's this bottom. Or the more conservative, this is the wick bottom, right? Right now, what do you think looks like going to happen now, people? Could it be breaking out to the upside? Of course. But how far will it get? We'll sell into it. We sell into it, right? Our sell limits are here. Martingale. Duh. Sell you got enough money? How much money you got? This is where the money comes in. Once you build the account, then you put those plunge orders in. It doesn't mean you can't trade the sissy trends. Doesn't mean that you can still do that trade. So you're like, oh, look at breakouts going up. Oh, I drew a trend line. Yeah, it's in an uptrend. And then it bursts. Just like today in the euro. But who's not selling into that? How could you miss these entries? Well, I'm waiting for a pin bar. Wow. If I had to watch somebody trade like that, you ever see somebody make food wrong? You got to walk out of the room. You're like, I can't watch this. And they're like, I'm like, but you're burning it. They're like, oh, am I? Okay, but so I watch somebody trade like shit. So when I mock people or criticize people doing trading videos, selling courses, and I'm looking over their shoulder going, dude, it's right in front of you. You see the stove? It's on fire. You missed the fucking entry. How can't you get this? Well, what we're waiting for is RSI to give us a triple divergence. Okay, but why can't you take these wick trades? Not everything's a spike, 2 years ago, the markets were really tough sledding. Man, mortgaged my house. Keep going in that trade. I was waiting for the trend to be my friend, but oh my God. Yeah, gee willikers. So you have buy stop, right? Buy stop strategy when the market gets quiet. You don't have to pick direction. Let the market prove you right. Look at you went long. That's a great trade right up into your limits. So you're going long into your sell limits and short into your buy limits. If you're short, time to get long, and if you're long, time to get short, because those spikes, it's over. But you got to use the rhythm method, right? Maybe wear galoshes and the rhythm method, but here's a breakout. Your robot's saying, I got a buy stop and a sell stop. That's right. He does the same trade here, and he's actually got a better ATR, so he whips out the tighter script. But we don't have robots like that. It's up to us to launch the appropriate. Even here, this is a trap trade, right? But the bigger picture is we have not got to Wednesday yet. So we have the week. They trap these guys, and by Wednesday it was like, wah, wah, wah. Then they come into this area, which we know is a known. You don't need market profile either. You really cannot find these two in the same ballpark on the same 10-yard line. If you need help finding that, man, you really can't see the ATR smaller. Do you need an ATR 14 period down here? Do you need stochastics? If you do, you're in a heap of trouble. So I understand price action, but I just call it price behavior. Price action is just a stupid term. Nobody can define that. I'm waiting for the guy. Well, what it is the bulls are in charge here. I'm like, okay. This is a hammer, dude. They hammered your account. If you were long, mega long, the stock market. In fact, what if you were like an idiot that bought here, rode it to here, didn't get the fuck out, went round turn, he's still holding, he gets to here, and then he tightens up his stop, and, oh, jeez, could have made this. Yeah, because the market's you got to know what's going on. You look at the market, you're like, yep, there she goes. Now it's what you're willing to run across traffic, right? To risk your life to get this hottie that's, staggered out the door. But that's what it comes down to, because if you've got the game plan, if you've got the script, if you know the right thing to say, hey, honey, you look really drunk tonight, whatever your pickup line is, you look pretty, like the left-handed compliment, you look pretty good for a drunk bitch. But I think that's what trading's about. I think you have to be a little bit catch as catch can, and if you've got the script on deck, right, you know what to say. Yeah, what's your horoscope? And, we definitely need a game plan. We need to have some type of thing we go to. Okay, so we're back in the market. I'm down $3. So yeah, I'm trading live trading. I don't know how live you want it to be. I think, like I said, $100. I'll trade a $100 account if you want. And the very beginning of that account, you have to be fucking good. Okay, you've got to be very good. You cannot. If you want to get to $1,000, you've really got to be careful. When you get to 1,000, then you could put in a little lazier style of trading and buy a 40K over a 22 pip zone and just walk away and go, yeah, fuck, I got 12 hours, I got 8 hours layered in there. In other words, I've covered my staff. You have to think of these orders as your employees, right? So this guy comes on a shift, this guy goes out, this guy's coming in, this guy's going out, right? They both have different approaches to your business. So some are scalps, some are swings, right? And you need to delegate that. If you own a business, you can't expect your employees, your tickets, to write their own trade plan. So it is work. You have to say, I'm going to do So now what I just gave was a crude starting limit grid here, but you could put elaborate shit in where you're buying every 22 pips, right? You just space at 22 pips, and you're going to buy fucking standard lots with 8 pip stops, make 12 pips, and create a grid of just little scalp orientated. Like you could even go with the market. You could actually have orders that are sitting, they're stops, and they just get out. Like, no, what's it going to matter, right? If the market's really crushing down, and it might be slippage. Some guys said in the comments, hey, if you're going to trade the news, you can blow up your account. No, not really. If you're trading 1Ks, and you've got $100,000 in the account, you're trading a 20K in the news, you will not blow up the account. You will lose money, maybe. This is the thing. The critical ratio is like, right, you got $100 in the account. If I said I'm going to give you $1,000 a trade, here you go. Trade what I told you. Go for it. And if I said, well, it's $100 in the account, what is your impetus to really, if you have $100 and you're willing to say, dude, I'm sorry, I blew up the account, here's $100 cash, and you cover that, how much are you going to behave on that account, right? So like a rent-a-car. But if your life depended on that trade, you may be paralyzed and not be able to trade. So if you had only $100 in your fucking name, so how much do you have? How much can you risk per week? So instead of going to some fucking trading room where it's just like a fucking ridiculous circle jerk, just go, trade your own. Like Dave Gibson says, you have to find your own path. So it's such a private thing. I mean, I'm just trying to show the mechanics of it for people that want to just trade blindly without any certainty. That's what I'm really trying to say, that's the best way to trade, was without certainty, not with confirmation. Is your going to hinder your spontaneity and your intuitive mind and your mechanical mind, because a lot of this stuff's mechanical. The current bar is this wide, and there's only two possibilities. It's going to go up or down, and how much of a fake out is it going to be? So we know fake outs exist, and how do we know when it's a crush or a fake out? We have to be aware of the vacuum, the last vacuum surrounding price. So it's not the price, it's where it hasn't been. So if you focused on that while you're watching it unfold on a bar by bar basis, which is just like a ticker tape kind of view, then that's going to be, this is the stock market, but I'm going to go back to the euro dollar. So euro dollar is coming back into my buy bank. I'm short the euro a little bit. I'm long the dollar yen. So what I could do is get out of the dollar yen just before the stocks close. Or do I ride it out? Now, we're about to engulf. This is the one I said I would buy the retest. So in the other video, I said, which I'm publishing right now, I said buy every 5 minutes it's down. Right? How did that work out for us? For 15 minutes, we bought like a whore, and people have told me, oh, that works. Yeah, it's retarded and it works. Actually, retarded people are smarter than that trade plan. Look at this. Come on, really? We got a different color going here. Like, this color's making me fucking nauseous. We go for a wider. Please. I'm gonna go hard line. Go for thicker. Oh, here 4. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go hard line 8 here. Okay, how hard is this trade? I just described it. We just did it. Your buy limits come in here. Your buy order banks come in limit wise here without regard to the market. And as the market drops, what you're going to do is put in freehand. We're going to put in, okay, so it looks like this. You got your limits, right? And then 5 minutes buy, 5 minutes buy, 5 minutes buy. I did that for 15 minutes in a row. I bought like a whore. Then I had buy stops. At shitty fills, I'm actually underwater. These are all the tickets I'm showing. The exits are not showing. So I could get out right now on this one symbol. This would be about where people would be getting out, right? This is the floor. We drifted back up on the 5 minute. Classic drift at this time of day. Scalpers are going to sell here. So we could dump right here if I go to the take all profits by symbol. Put on the navigator. So you got to be quick though, because right now we're sitting up $190. You got to nail this trade. You got to get to your thing. Here I'm going to get out of this. One instrument. Double click this close per symbol. And now I'm going to buy in limits all over again. Do the same trade over and over again. As dumb as it may seem, now we're going to buy in limits all over again with 15 pip stops. I'm waiting for the last ticket to come off, the winners. Those are all winners except the very top of that tree is underwater, so we've scaled out. And we're still waiting for another retest. It happens. We're still getting out of winners on just this one symbol. So I know this guy sent me the close all per symbol now. This is critical if you're going to trade more than one currency in the same fucking account. This is a demonstration of that. That's why they call it a demo. It's crazy. It's nuts. Now I'm going to put this just under current price. Who's not buying this on pullback, right? So I'm going to martingale this again. Hold your martingales. Everybody, martingale up. This is what the guy said. Oh my God, you're telling people to martingale. You're damn tootin'. I am martingale up right here, right about there. No, don't back it up no more. You backed it up too far, son. Look at. When I'm telling you, stop backing it up. So this is a 10 pip grid, people. I'm buying every fucking pip in there. I can't believe you're telling them they're coming in the hospital with their arms cut off. And you're the one that, well, I told them Martingale up. Your moronic humor is not humorous anymore. We're going to pull your moronic humorous card. It's really not funny, you know. I've heard people say, you know, what you're saying is really not very funny. I know. Tell me about it. I'm the one now, here's the really conservative entry, I'd call it. We'll put a 2K in. So if you're playing along at home, the limit grid, I'll put a limit grid, because that's easy. Martingale's the easiest way to trade. That's why people hate it. Think about it. They don't like it because it's like, well, and now mind you, the price is moving. What I forgot to mention is the price is moving. So when you drop these grids, you know, when they're double clicks, not these ones, but the double clicks, it's going to be, you're chasing out in front of the market to buy a pullback. So we're going to Martingale up here again. We dump this whole session, go back to the Euro. Euro's tanking into our Martingale. So we're short into Martin. It's Martingale's sister. She's hotter. She's the hot one. Did you ever see, like, we had this couple in town where kids, these two women, we call Beauty and the Beast. The one chick was so hot, she's a magazine hot. The other one was actually hot, like shovel ready hot, you know. And, but I like the girl that's kind of like a little bit more intellectual, and she looks like she's been beat up. It seems like that's the way it goes. Like, you don't see, is it true? I mean, Hillary Clinton's supposed to be bright, but she don't look so hot, and she's not bright. She's got a PhD. You hear her talk in platitudes, it's like fucking hysterical. Anybody heard her talk? You think I'm fucking not making sense? You think I'm a stumble bum? You think I'm an angry stumble bum? You should hear this bitch. Okay, justice grinds slowly. I'm going to buy this right now. I'll lose a little bit on this pullback. So here's another trick. You put the limits grid, you put the martingales in. If the martingales don't pan out and the market doesn't crush those balls and pick up all those random chaotic tickets below us, because we can only make money from getting a better price, regardless of whether it happens to be a bat wing or a shark tooth, whatever your trade pattern. Of course, you want to get that patented as soon as possible. You come up with a wackadoodle like, well, it's the animal cracker trade, man. Look at this. I laid the animal crackers out on the bar chart. When you fucking know it, oh my God. You should see this Fonte trade. The elephant trade. Oh, jeez, dude. You got to see this. Yeah, it's a real ego buster. I wasn't very happy with the fact that randomness was making money, and I really did think, oh, it's not random. Like, I mean, I think what I'm saying random, I'm saying, well, how long is it going to take? Yeah, we all know it's going to go that price, but is it going to take 5 milliseconds or 5 weeks? You know, I think that is the problem. Because who wants to have exposure pending orders out there that may overfill? Right? This is the Martingale disaster. Holy shit. Boy, I had a lot of orders. Yeah, of course, you build the account, right? You wouldn't get you don't want to build a prototype car, put a Hemi in there, and then punch the throttle, bend the frame, and figure out later on that, you know, we should have kind of like let it go slowly and just see the torque on the dyno is different than when I pop the clutch in the car. Oops. Yeah, the car kind of rides sideways weird. It's pulling, and I don't know why. Yeah, your count's pulling to one side, right? It's getting crushed by overloading the order bank. Of course, that's the art of placing orders. But really, you want to sit around here and pull the triggers. It comes back every 5 minutes like a crack whore. Oh yeah, I bought that. Okay, that works too, right? How about every hour it's down? Look at this trade system. Every hour it's down, you buy. Every hour it's up, you sell. Newbie special, right? Every hour it's down, you buy. Every hour it's up, you sell. Kind of regardless of trend, actually. There's plenty of liquidity in this currency. Here's a top bottom on the 1 hour, clean as a daisy, right? It's also the top bottom before we fall down the stairway into unfair value, right? Who's not getting that, right? 10 pip vault comes in, you got your order, you got your bear traps in there, and you catch it. Not only do you catch it for a break even, you catch it for a worse than break even up into here. You catch it for a fucking monster swing if you have the patience for that to cut through. It looks just like what happened today, amazingly, in the euro. Is there any correlation? No. It went up in 20 pips on fair value, comes back, retests at a cunt hair higher, right? A couple of them. And look at, that's the better entry, right? Because what is this? What is this, people? Everybody should know this in their notes. You've paid $4,000 for the course. I'm not going to repeat myself. If I told you once, I told you 100 fucking times. It's like this. The metaphor is the early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. Right? You blew up your account on your money, over money managed it, and I come in after the the second mouse, right? First mouse has got his head in the trap, and you just tiptoe past the graveyard, pick up your little bit of cheese laying in the corner. That was the saying from Jesse Livermore, or whatever, one of his famous, the old famous wisdom. I just come in and pick up the money left on the floor. Well, of course. Or you step in front of, like me, and you start selling hard up into that and beyond, and just walk away. You could ever have a lingering sell bank of limits, Martingale, up into that. Or did you do the trend trade, top became bottom here? You had orders, not really on this time frame, 1 hour, because, these wicks became wicks, but this would be the price structured trade. This would be a volatility structured trade, and on the close is not. The close is a very strict structured rate of change world, bar by bar, blow by blow. You don't need to backtest this. It's painfully fucking obvious. Here's a bottom, becomes a top, becomes a failure, becomes a bottom. That's a pivot, right? This nosedive is a bar, it's a hammer on the 4 hour. It has to be, right? Even on the 3 hour, it's a hammer. It's a hammer on the 8. It doesn't matter. It's a double bottom, right? It's unfair value on the 4 hour. We're falling into this big cryptic hole. Now, this could go extended down. There's no doubt. Okay, I'm taking profits on everything right now. So I'm taking profits even though I'm not up on it, but I'm getting out of what I was in, right? So I'm reducing my exposure. I don't know if I'm winning right now. Good thing to get out of that dollar yen, though, right? Or, I'm not trading this Dow Jones right now. Here's the dollar yen 1 hour. We got out because it's a dead cat bounce, right? No offense to cats, but let's face it. This was the exit door. If you did not sell here, you fucked up. This is where you had to get out right at that double bottom in time. In wicks, you got out earlier. You got out at this wick carried forward. We could still get a rally. And I have losers underwater right now. Losers. I got underwater tickets. Don't forget, when I used to blow up accounts by the zillions, I had 10 accounts running, and I would just let one go, and I come back to it, and I go, oh my God, those losers became winners, right? So I was like, oh my God. You mean if I just walk away? I'm like, you mean that stuff would be, yeah, it's a winner now. Not to mention the retest. Oh my God, what's the easiest trade in the world? Breakout and retest, right? Swing trading, breakouts. Easiest trades in the world. The hard thing is to say, oh, this currency's going to go up tonight. Oh, it might. But it's going to come back and hunt people. Look at just hunted people on the 15. Right? If you had a breakout bot, you just got trapped in the 15, right? Am I right or wrong? If you don't believe, click on the periscope window. Click on the bubbles coming up. I remember when Akil Stokes had that, I thought, well, that's adorable. I have like anger mops or something coming out of that thing. Some kind of whacked out fucking shit. Just spitting bullets. Yeah, spit bullets on my periscope. But seriously, I'm only here to help. We welcome all angry newbies, all frustrated musicians that are trying to get laid. We welcome the whole spectrum. Even people that used to have a day job and now they Dave, well, this is my new job. Even people that don't like dentists are welcome. You need your choppers, man. But if you get abscess tooth, by all means, hit the fucking doctor. I know doctors that have died from abscess teeth. Real doctors, like a real account, no, real people, real concepts. So here we got out, we thinned the herd. I'm going to just hit the take all profits key in case there's some winners. Yep, there were some winners hiding out in that pack. I'm underwater here, but I'll buy more. This is the trick. Watch this. This is the key. Would you buy more? Is it still a good bounce trade? See, I don't have that kind of like, well, I could put the sell limits up there too, but I don't want to trade against this rally. I perceive a rally. I'm looking at the daily. It's a perfect uptrend we've had going on in this currency for how long now? So sure, it was a counter trend scalp today, right? Obviously off the tops of the dollar yen. Is it not obvious? Can anybody see this sell window on the dollar yen on the daily? Is this hard to figure out? 20 pip window? How did you not just kill it today? Not if you have a day job and you're not putting sell limits at the edge of the market like that just in case, you'd be selling yesterday's high. Well, I need to see confirmation on 40 time frames. I'm going to have to take that home, take a look at it. Well, then you're just going to have a hard time making easy money. And who's not buying this on pullbacks, right? Well, Martingale, people that are afraid of Martingale, people that are afraid of the unknown, afraid of blowing up their account, which is what you can't be afraid of to make money. So it's a complete, whatever have you, paradox, inversion, disturbing algorithm that doesn't go along with conventional thinking about stuff that could happen. But I know it's torture. It's torture at first because you're like, I really want to use my MACD. You know, I got a lot of MACD books here. Not to mention, I know somebody from Barclays Bank. It would be an insult to his intellect. Because he told me you're running a 20 EMA. Well, the reason you're blowing up your account, son, is you're not using that 20 EMA I done showed you how to use. Oh, okay. And then you're running it on the 3-minute chart, and you're like, fuck. Yeah, what's the trade here again? Who hasn't been down that road? I hope I'm preaching to the choir, man. Jesus. Right? But everybody figures out how can they fit trading in their lifestyle? Because we can't all be here for these wackadoodle trades. We can see it coming. Do you think the British pound's going down for the last 8 hours? Well, of course. What did it do just before it collapsed? They stop hunted all these fuckers on that wick. Bam! Right? Oh, it's almost a double top back here. It's easy trades, man. Isn't that easy? So now I wouldn't buy it. I'm already in. I'm underwater on my buy stops. What's the proper course of action? It's just start putting buy limit grids on the dollar's going to make a little bit of recovery tonight. So we're going to buy the euro on pullbacks. We're going to buy the pound on pullbacks. We're going to load up. I've already done it here for 8 hours, so I come back to this. Another thing I'm doing these videos, not only are they live, but I stop action motion the fuck, come back to the same goddamn count. What more proof do you need, man? You really want me to load up all my accounts? I'm trading more than one demo. You want to load all that up and just go through all that? I can only imagine what people would say. All right? So Dave Gibson. It's not about money, man. It's about being right with the money that you have. You can be wronger than the market. The market being righter than you can be right. It's got more money than you. So obviously it's about sizing, timing, and having the proper cushion built. People make millions of dollars selling cushions that do not break people's bones when they hit an object. So obviously there's a rate of crush. So I'm sure this guy he masters in rate of crush. That's what we're doing with Martingale. So Martingale makes money. Don't ever let anybody tell you it doesn't. It also makes money to every hour buy, it's down, going down. Every hour it goes down, you buy. You can see how it played out in every currency pair there is on the planet. Every hour it goes up, you sell. Are you getting stopped out of that? You have to have some kind of brain. But if it goes up 40 pips in 1 hour, 2 hours, you're going to sell a lot. And you're going to sell it, and you're up on that trade right now. Can you handle, well, what's your first clue that once we break this, it's going to be on fire? But if you sold here on limits for this 10 pip, then you start selling at the market. Plus you got limit orders up here. Don't forget, you got 50K all the way up to the top. And you go, I really like this trade, man. Look at stall out there on the hour. Boom, 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 hit sell key. Boom, boom, boom. That was at 3 p.m., right? 3 p.m. on the dot. You're up on that trade right now. I'm up on the trade. Well, I'm up on my underwater trades. So maybe I take profits right now on this. Let's take this off the deck. I think I'm actually long on this. Take these off the deck. Let's buy more of this on the half hour, right? We should be buying, right? It's down. Buy, 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 buy. So we should have bought an hour ago. We didn't, right? We did not buy. We bought on limits, though. I did. You saw me put the limits in. I'm not making this up. So I put the, and then I didn't put them in close enough. So I got to buy at the market now because I make up for it. Some buy stops. These are my scalps right to the 10-yard line. This is going to go to the 15-yard line. So we got to exit here. If this trade works out, we know we got to get out here on something. We know we will buy tonight all the way to China, all the way to Memphis. We're set to buy. Break out the limit grids. So we have buy stops on the hotkey keyboard, the magic keyboard, and we're going to run limit grids and try not to trade the market unless we have a signal, which means every hour it's down, we buy. Every hour it's, I'm saying buy here, right? Buy right now at the market because we have inverted hammer. It's a buy. Here's a buy, right? Buy this. Now wait an hour. You're not over trading if you told yourself you're following your rule system, as crude as it may be, and nobody likes this trading system I devised. So the argument here is not only are you just going to throw orders in randomly below you, you mean you're going to buy every down bar? Yeah, why not, right? So you wouldn't buy here, you're already in. Can't buy this. This is a buy, this is a buy. So I buy signal on the pound, buy signal on the, this buy signal's done. And hopefully we're holding swing trade oriented grids that we laid in here with our trusty limit grids. So we're doing hotkey with left hand. Right hand is dropping limits. I traded the news like that one day. It worked out very well. Very well because I had my left hand at market orders and stops running that. And I got the limit grids. And I'm literally holding the limit grid above the chart. And here comes the market crushing in. And if you're lucky, you can do arbitrage against the other brokers when the news breaks. If you got half a brain, if you got 3 monitors. Watching high-end broker demo. You've got real money at a shitty broker. You're dropping limit grids out in front. You're front running. You can see the market coming by at least 10 seconds, 1 second. 1 second. Boom, it's down. Your broker has not responded. Here comes your limit grid sitting at the perfect place because you already know the market's going there in the next second. This is when the news is out. And if the limit grids, it's better than the market. If you hit the market order, the market's in flux, but the limit's laid, the first dibs on limit orders. They get the priority fill. The least amount of slippage, too. So we went for this crush back. I'm going to open up the magical pile of script limit grids. So we're trading at the market. Here we're going to hand drop these worse than break even. Hit these key where the stops are all stacked up for tonight. Just run all 3 currencies like that. Same thing here. Insane orders down here. I don't want to have to babysit this shit. I know what's going to happen down here is that there's a likelihood of a 40 pip bounce with a 20 pip stop. As you go deeper, you're going to run the bigger wins because you're looking for that to bounce big. But we'll also be pulling the trigger every hour it's down. It's an obvious trade plan. So we'll come back. This is 4 o'clock. We'll come back at 5 o'clock, and it's going to get crazy because the spreads are going to widen as you go into the last session of the day. So there'll be a big move right at the top of the hour. Here's the stocks close. Here's the stock market. So it's just a waiting game. Okay, top of the hour is come and gone. Here comes the pullback, and we're going to buy the dollar to the yen now in pullbacks. Just going to lay them in and walk away now. Let this fill up. We're at 28.6, down 70 bucks. Looking for a big crush down here. So we'll load the wagon on limits for possible smash and grab. I'm still short the euro dollar here, looking for the same thing here. So we're going to set these up in advance, walk away. Okay, so we're 28.6.